Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm going live. I know I have literally been dragging this live out. I said I was going to do it the other day. I was going to talk about Janet Jackson. I know this is kind of short notice, but I'm just going to do it. Whoever hops on, and then whoever catches on to join the conversation. If not, you could just, catch it back, drop down the comments in the playback. But nonetheless, you guys, I definitely wanted to talk about Janet Jackson, the documentary with that. Of course, Whoopi Goldberg, of course, Nick Cannon, of course, like everybody's pregnant. Rihanna's pregnant. Hi, I see somebody jumped in. Let me know if you can hear me because I've been trying different audios, like doing my lives and stuff. But nonetheless, Janet Jackson, Nick Cannon, Rihanna, all of that. So we're going to get into that. But first, let's get into the Janet Jackson docuseries. The Janet Jackson docuseries I said I was going to talk about on my my community page. But life just got in the way. I need to catch up on reviews. So we're gonna get into that. I'm definitely interested to see who watched it, what you guys' opinions are. I'm definitely feeling like there were some things that were kind of skimped on as far as the Jackson family life. I definitely feel like that could have been a little bit more dug into, but I get with Janet. She doesn't want to, dig up the dead, disrespect the dead. But sometimes we gotta stop doing that. Like, even though the person has died, like they still have their different effects on people still living, and not all of them are gonna be good. So when somebody dies, like you're still entitled. Hello, first time catching my live. Well, thank you for hopping on in. I just decided to kind of do a real impromptu because I have been pushing back the live. I was going to talk about Janet Jackson, but I had to catch up on reviews and stuff. But yeah. Appreciate you for tuning in. We're gonna do, a quick little live talk about Janet Jackson. Then we're gonna get into, the trending topics. But yeah, like I was saying, did you actually tell me? Did you watch the documentary? I wonder how many people watched the documentary. Did you watch it? A lot of people did, but I don't know how many people, watched each part. But yeah, Janet Jackson, they definitely just touched a little bit. They kissed the surface of Jackson growing up, because we're not going to sit here and ignore the fact that it's very, very, very much possible. Not even very much possible. That nigga was abusive. Let's just quit playing. Joe Jackson had a tendency to be a little harsh on his kids. And some of them had said that, and they have covered it up. You haven't seen it? Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you a little tidbit on what they talked about then. I'll fill you in. There definitely was some times that you could tell the kids experienced a harsh Joe Jackson that most likely was having to do with him taking his anger out on them. Had it not been for the mama saving, I think it was Randy from getting his ass beat, popping his stream, there maybe wouldn't be no Jackson 5, no Jackson nothing. So we open up basically with them talking about their home life, of course, growing up in Gary, Indiana, having however many of them that there are, being raised by obviously the nuclear Black family. And it was rough. It was what they said, 9 people living in like a 900 square foot house. So kids was, instead of double bunk beds, it was triple bunk beds. It was obviously how most people lived back in the day. I think I grew up, and my dad's friend said it was 11 kids in like 1,000 square foot house. I could never. Okay, my parents, thank goodness we didn't have to suffer like that. I don't want to say, yeah, that is suffering, because 11 kids in one room, I'll be damned. But, I grew up with bunk beds. I think every kid goes through that, bunk bed stage before everybody gets their own room type situation. But yeah, so Gary, Indiana, they end up, obviously coming up to the Jackson 5 because of, Randy playing the guitar. And that's where it all started. Obviously they get put on, they go and perform for, was it Barry Gordy or something? No, Barry Gordy's the white guy. Nonetheless, it was somebody at Motown or something like that. Boom, they're famous. So now the Jacksons are going on tour. They're moving on up, getting all this money and moved into, the rich part of California. And even though they were famous Black kids, they still got treated like Black kids. So they didn't have often friends. That's the only thing too that's super unfortunate about their situation is I think a lot of people are just not sympathetic to the fact of, oh, you chose this life. You wanted to be a, celebrity. You wanted to get your music out there. But still at the end of the day, like they're human. And these were kids. Like these essentially were kids that didn't really have a childhood. So I kind of sympathized, with that feeling of like, oh my gosh, there wasn't a childhood for them. But Joe had a mission, and I mean, obviously he succeeded, but that still doesn't mean it's not without collateral damage, lasting damage. I mean, hell, look, we saw how Michael turned out. Like, Michael probably went through a lot of harsh stuff. Like, nobody does the shit that they did to themselves without feeling some type of way internally. Like, you gotta keep it real. So nonetheless, Jackson 5, boom. Now Janet's growing up into it. And, she starts off, getting good times, a little girl. But then Joe ends up getting fired by the boys. So he becomes, it's been told that Michael called Janet drunk for donkey. And he talked about how much Fouchier Latoya would tell her she would have problems with her weight. Yeah, Janet did mention something about that. She's like, they would like be making fun, but still making fun of somebody calling them, pig, cow, like that still's gonna sting a little bit. Like, even though it's joking, like there's a party that feels like a part of those jokes, like is truth. They always say like a little part of the joke is truth. So maybe like she obviously took that on as insecurity. But getting good times, her very first album was controlled by Joe. So she didn't really have, artistic, creativity on the first Janet album. So it did what it did, but of course Janet's not really happy. She even said at one point that she wanted to go to college, and be a kid and, experience the dorm life. And like, I wish that she would have gotten a chance to experience those things. You can still be a college kid and, still go for wanting to do music. Knowing what we know about Janet, she would have made it work. She would have made it work. She would have been able to go to college. Hell, Meg Thee Stallion, Sweetie, like all of these girls, they made it possible to go to college and still have the, artist experience. So I really hate that for her. But of course, every time it came time to talking about her childhood and where she is now, she always covered it up with what she was going with Joe with. But I'm the woman I am today because of him. All of them got that like, I'm a son, I just that whisper voice. And it's like, I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't because of Joe. I am who I am because of him. I mean, yeah, you are. You might be famous, but you still a little fucked up on the inside, which is why you started marrying all these men who had all these motherfucking issues, if we want to be true. I mean, and you allowed yourself to fall in love with each man you were with. Like, it wasn't like you dated around. It was like you consistently fell in love with each man, which makes me feel like you were constantly looking for love and validation in men because you never got it from your dad. I'm sitting here looking how my eyes are so low in this video, and y'all just gonna have to excuse it because I don't want to be looking like my eyes. No, okay, look. Some things have coincided in which the eyes are a little bit hazy today, but it's okay. Y'all good. I'm putting down. All right. Yeah, Janet Jackson, dad. I mean, she was vying for love. Freaking El DeBarge got with him. Turned out he was a cokehead. After they got married, he left her at the freaking hotel, y'all. He left her at the hotel. They got married. They go to the hotel. She's thinking they're going to have this carry me over the threshold, experience. I'm going to pick her up and, put in a hotel. We're going to make, sweet, sweet love, Anita Baker style. And she said, oh, he tells me, okay, I'm going to be right back. So obviously in her mind, she's probably thinking, oh, maybe he's going to go to the car and give me some surprise. No, y'all, he left her there. And if I'm not mistaken, came back hours later or never came back. Either way, the shit is foul. So she put up with a lot of stuff from him until she finally dropped him off at his family's house and, got to skirt on that ass. Then she gets with Renee. Then we move to the next part of her documentary, which is really more about her and Renee. Renee was her, I guess you can basically say, videographer. He used to do like camera stuff for, commercials and everything. That's quite an addiction. He skipped on sex. Who does that? Well, clearly, see, here's the thing about sex with DeBarge and Janet, because clearly they was fucking, okay? Because, maybe she left that part out, because Janet left out a lot of bit about DeBarge, y'all. She really did. She, of course, covered the rumor of like, oh, is there, I'm glad you said that because it reminded me, oh, is there a secret baby? Oh, did she have the baby? And then it was rumored that Rebbie, was raising it because, she was on tour. It was like, she was like, oh, I never would have kept a baby from him. I just never would have did that. Okay, you might not have kept a baby from him, but did you keep getting pregnant from him? Like, usually rumors of pregnancy just don't come out of nowhere. And the time that they were in, we just got to think about the time that they were in. You kept pregnancy on lock. You didn't say nothing. Okay, you got pregnant. If you decided to keep it, you went over to your grandma's house, okay, got homeschooled, and you got fat at grandma's, okay? But I think she either got pregnant and had a miscarriage, or, they didn't really do abortions back then like that. I think she miscarried. I think if she got pregnant, she miscarried. What do you guys think? Janet Jackson, do you guys feel like she got pregnant and maybe miscarried? Got pregnant and, terminated that bitch? Or got pregnant and had a baby? One of them three options. If it was she got pregnant, which ones do you guys think it is? So, nonetheless, going back to Renee, they started growing a relationship. They were first friends because he was going on tour with them as like their videographer. And then they grew into being friends. And then from friends to lovers. And you know how the story goes. Boy meets girl meets boy. They become friends, love, iota. And they end up having a really long relationship, actually. Like, she would say, like, that was kind of like her first, y'all, DeBarge didn't even propose to her. She said DeBarge never even proposed to her. They were like, oh, was, Renee different from DeBarge? And she was like, there was nothing to compare to because he didn't even propose. I'm like, you married a nigga who didn't even propose to you? Does that not scream damage? Like, does that not? Joe got, like, y'all, we not gonna sit here and play like Joe didn't fuck them kids up. Yes, they are, literally the biggest group in music, and their name is gonna go on for generations and generations. But damn, y'all, he fucked them kids up. But Renee was the videographer, and they, got married on the low, and started this career budding, and she started going on her own. She decided she was gonna get into she wanted to get away from Joe. She could have. But so they end up getting married and start building this career. Janet says, okay, if I'm going to give this a go a second time, because after being like a little girl, she decided to, go at it more as an adult, but she had to fire Joe's ass first. Y'all, she went over there and hit that, hit Joe with that little snip and had to cut him, because she's like, if I wanted to go at an album, I wanted to be my decisions. I wanted to be under my, I wanted it to be me. And so that's where I think control came from. And so that is when Janet's career really just started trying to, really going up and up. And so marriage was her ticket out. Yes, she did say that, actually. She actually did say that. Now that you like that, she actually did say that. She was like, the only way I knew how to get from under control of my father is to get married. And she said that with DeBarge, ironically enough. You say that, it's so crazy. So she ends up, taking off, starts hiring, choreographers, everything, working with Jimmy Jam, And those writers. And so Janet's career just took off, and now she's with Renee, and they're doing everything together. So then we start getting into the breakdown of her and Renee's relationship. Basically, it started to become too much. Like, people knew Renee was an extension of Janet, and they did not cross him. And Renee revealed, or Janet actually revealed, that Renee was actually quite critical of her. The unfortunate part of being in a relationship with somebody who's constantly like trying to catch the moment, that's all he ever wanted to do was catch the moment. And it never was like real. There was even this one scene where he was like, kiss your mother again, and she was like, no. She's like, Renee, that stage, like, don't feel my mother. Like, she wanted to be home and not be on camera. And so what was the tea was the choreographer at the time. It was a little white girl. They went to Hawaii, and she was like, man, we was good. We had so much fun in Hawaii. Got back home. She's like, then I could start kind of seeing a breakdown between them two. Renee was always with the fucking camera, like always like this and that. She was like, the problem with there not being an off button is there's not an off button. Moments that you want to keep private, moments that you want to like not have to like relive, Renee was always trying to catch, because all he knew was, you're going to want to look back at this one day. You're going to want to look back at this one day. We even have footage of her goddamn yelling at Jimmy Jam and them in the studio. She got pissed off when it was like, she was like, what are y'all laughing at? And she was like, you know what? I've had enough. I'm going home because you guys are laughing at me. Her little sweet voice. So then on top of that, she revealed that he was very critical of her appearance because he was a videographer. Oh, you don't look like Janet today. Oh, you don't look like yourself. You need to look like a star 24/7. Don't look like that star 24/7. Nigga, I'm going to put on this hoodie, these little joggers, a nice decent pair of kicks, and I'm walking out. Like, he was like, she's like, he would always be on me about always having to look, people come to you for your look. Well, people are everyday people, and I don't want to like, sometimes don't nobody want to put on all that shit. So then he actually ends up getting addicted to painkillers. So now it's like everything on top of each other, and they finally ended up filing for divorce. Everybody knew it was kind of like, oh shit, something wrong with Janet and Renee, because he wasn't on the next tour. She decided finally, like, I have to let him go. And so he wasn't on the next tour. And so everybody was like, oh shit, like Janet and Renee, they no longer together. So then Jermaine Dupri's ass come in. And Jermaine Dupri's ugly old buck tooth, milk dud headed, buck teeth, like headed ass. I just can't think of nothing, just buck teeth and Junebug. Buck teeth and Junebug is all I can think of when I think of Jermaine Dupri. Like, and we literally sit there and look at Jermaine Dupri and Janet Jackson. Really? Okay. So he wants to say this thing of, oh, why didn't me and Janet work out? Oh, I was reckless. And I love how niggas love to come up with a different word than, oh, I was out here cheating. It's always, oh, I was immature. Oh, I was reckless. Oh, I didn't have my stuff together. No, nigga, you was cheating. Like, just say it. Y'all be man enough to do the stuff, but don't be man enough to like say, you know what, I cheated. And so now here it is. She get heartbroken again because she wanted kids. She wanted all of that. But like Jermaine Dupri basically robbed that from her. And so what else? Like, he literally said, oh, the funny thing about being with Janet is it makes women more attracted to you. Of course it does. You're with Janet and Jackson. I'm sorry, but you look the way you do. Most people's question is, what does Jermaine Dupri have that has Janet Jackson attracted to him? And you know what it was? Personality. That's it. Because niggas who look like that, they gotta be funny and have personality. And he laughed her way into them panties. Okay, that's what happened. And all for nothing because he ended up cheating on her. How you cheat on Janet Jackson? Jermaine Dupri ass cheating on Janet Jackson. The nerve of you men. The audacity. So after he cheats on her, she goes back on dealing with stuff. Then Nipplegate Nipplegate happens before he cheats on her. So let's get to Nipplegate, because Nipplegate is obviously the hugest Super Bowl goddamn thing. They literally attacked Janet from head to freaking toenail. And if we think about it now in the future, it was like, oh, it was just a nipple. It was like it was a wardrobe malfunction and it was a nipple. Like, what are y'all really fighting over? And then it's like there was boycotts, there was legal things coming in, like it was everything. Jermaine Dupri, he didn't even see it. He said she came to me crying, all that type of stuff. But like, they were able to get through that. But just like to think like, then we all want to know, did Justin Timberlake, did Justin Timberlake do? Well, come to find out, she said Justin Timberlake talked to her, and she basically told him, no, I'll take the heat because they're already pointing at me anyways. There's no point of like putting us both in the line of fire. I hate she did that. If she did, or I don't know if she just saying that, so we don't get in Justin's ass. But nonetheless, if she did that, I really hate she did. I really do. I really do. And then so Janet was dealing with a lot of like people basically casting her out because they saw a fucking nipple. Until Tyler Perry books her for Why Did I Get Married? And we all know Perfect Patty messed up, okay? Perfect Patty messed up. Perfect Patty messed up. Okay? And then when she tore that shit up, when she grabbed that damn golf club and went to whacking on the hoes, and the second one, oh my God. Okay, Perfect Patty was tearing shit up. So then of course after that she gets pregnant, and we're watching Janet kind of have this resurgence. The documentary is really good. She's now having this kind of resurgence. After Why Did I Get Married 2, actually that's when they found out Michael died. So that was a huge thing. They found out Michael died during the second filming of Why Did I Get Married. And of course, she had this weird relationship with Michael, all of the allegations. She said she never believed them. I mean, I don't care what you say, Janet. I know people ask you, did you ever just think for a second that he did it? And she said, no, never. I said, what? You lying. You lying, Janet. Janet boo-boo. Girl, all the evidence at one point that was stacked against Michael, right? Okay, drop down in the comments. Do you feel like Michael did this or not? Do you think Michael was touching on little boys and girls over there at La La Land, whatever it's called? Janet said she never believed it once. I don't know if I believe that, y'all. I don't know if I believe that. But yeah, so Michael ends up dying. So basically like a research of all the stuff that went on in his life. Of course, when he dies, people talking about everything that went on in his life, and that includes allegations. But it was really sad. Her mom couldn't even talk about Michael. When she was like, Mom, do you want to talk? She immediately started crying. So I felt so bad in that moment. Just like, I know Michael was a tortured soul, and I feel so bad about that. Like, I know, like, because I'm such a person who is just very empathetic. Like, I think about what could the other person be going through in their life. And it's like, it doesn't take a lot to be nice to somebody, because you never know what they're going through. Like, I'm that type of person, because it's like, it's true. How many suicides we've been seeing lately? Regina King's son, this new freaking the USA contestant, that one actor, the black dude, he was over there by the bridge. Like, all these people really are taking themselves out because you just like the inner soul is just tortured. And I feel that's what really was going on with Michael. And I know a lot of that had to do with his dad being the kid that's in the front all the time of this group. Could you imagine how hard he was on him? And I'm sure he never gave him any like positive affirmation, was always only what you're better at, what you're doing. Like I really feel bad for them. I really do. And I hope before Joe died, they were able to express their hurt and express, I'm thankful that you did like the best you could, but I'm here to tell you, like, these are the things that still hurt me. And I hope he was able to like rectify that before passing away. But yeah, so we know Janet Jackson got pregnant. We know all of this, you know, stuff, and and she's doing the new tour. The baby, she ain't show that baby though. It's gonna be damn near that baby gonna be 15 before we ever see what Janet Jackson baby look like. How old y'all think Rihanna's? How do you think Rihanna's baby's gonna be when she show they face? Boy or girl? A lot of people are suspecting it's a girl, but boy or girl, how old do you think the baby will be before she shows its face? Most people don't even wait till a year. So the fact that we have never seen Janet Jackson's baby, I want y'all to think about that. How we even see Halle Berry? Does Halle Berry got kids? I could have swore she did. Does Halle Berry got kids? I don't think we never seen Halle Berry's kids. There's a lot of celebrities' kids that we really haven't seen, but for sure, Janet Jackson, we don't even know. He might as well be Ghostbusters in this bitch. He might as well be Ghost. He could be at a daycare right now when nobody know that that's Janet Jackson's baby. But yeah, so what do you guys think of Janet Jackson, you know, making a comeback? How do you guys feel about the documentary if you tuned into it? Do you guys feel like there's anything maybe she left out that y'all wish, you know, there would have been more of? I believe Rihanna will show her baby, and yes, Halle Berry has 2 kids. Right, okay, so Halle Berry, that's what I thought. I know the hoe got 2 kids. Okay, so she has 2 kids, and we've never seen Halle Berry kids. And you think Rihanna's going to show her baby? I definitely think she's going to show her baby for sure. For sure. Maybe she'll show the baby when she comes out with Fenty Baby. Because we all know there's going to be a motherfucking Fenty Baby line. Now we know it's going to be a Faby Benty line. Faby Benty. And there's gonna be a Fenty Baby line. We know that. Well, speaking of Rihanna, let's go ahead and move into Rihanna being pregnant, y'all, because that's one of the things I wanted to talk about. So Rihanna being pregnant, she's pregnant by A$AP Rocky. What do you guys think about A$AP Rocky being the baby daddy? What do y'all think? I think it's a little bit crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, there have been many other people talking about, oh, you know, A$AP Rocky, he colors this, he says a lot of crazy things, this and that. I can imagine. I think I heard like rumors of like that clip going around. I never really like looked into it. I knew the video, I heard of it, whispers of it and stuff like that, but I never actually sat down and watched the clip. But I'm not shocked. Like I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. It'd be the crunchies of the black men who don't want the black women. Like they don't want nothing. I think there was actually a video of a rapper saying that he did not want his kids to be dark skinned. Yeah, I'm not surprised, but nonetheless, do I believe A$AP will be a good dad? I think so. Like from what I've seen of his, I guess, like personality, I could imagine he would be a good dad. But what are the rules that A$AP Rocky could necessarily instill in his child is the question. You know what? What are the rules? Like, what type of things do we imagine watching A$AP Rocky like instill in his child? Because a lot of these men out here, trash. And speaking of another trash nigga, Nick Cannon. Let's go ahead and get into him. Nick Cannon's another one that got a baby on the way. Baby on the way, Nick Cannon. Baby on board. Baby number 8 would have been number 9 had his last baby not, God unfortunately passed away. But Nick Cannon would really have 9 babies and baby mamas. What in the Bebe's Kids? What in the Who Shot John Ghetto love story is this? What in the I am about to sign up for EBT is this? What is going on? I'm just like, I'm lost for words. We find out he's pregnant again. LOL. Oh, no shame of Nick behavior in these streets. Oh yeah, he's not ashamed. He's not. I think he's embarrassed than he's more ashamed. Because the truth is, he's paying attention to what people are saying, especially in regards to the last clip that he had with Angela Yee. Because Angela Yee asked him about him doing, celibacy and, having these baby mamas and things like that. And so he actually was like, he said he stuck to the celibacy. I don't know whether he stuck to celibacy or not. I could give a care less, because at the end of the day, it's still a take away from the fact that you got 8 motherfucking kids in this bitch. Being celibate for 1 month does not change your way, your acts, like your character. So I don't care about you being celibate for a month. You talking to your therapist, I don't care. Like, I need to know what you are going to do to offset the fact that you are going to create 8 fatherless baby homes. That's what I'm more interested in. 8 babies that you're going to now have to fight to figure out to be around, because the truth is, in order to take care of 8 babies, you got to keep working. Okay? In order for you to keep working, that means you're not going to be with your babies. You see how this adds up? So tell me when 8 of them are supposed to get enough effort, time, emotional, mental development with you. Not only that, the women who are pregnant or have your babies, they are now, I'm assuming, you paying for, nannies to come through. I would like to ask of these, of them, how many are getting paid night nurses, nannies, whatever, assisted. If you, whatever food you need, it's on me. I wonder how many of them are getting that, at least bare minimum, bare minimum for these niggas out here. Let's see. He's an embarrassment to the Black community. Money don't make you a great dad. Hoes often will be able to spend all the time on his kids, to spend all time with all his kids. He has created a single parent home and mother. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's that simple. And is that on that? How do you split your time up even between 8 kids? You young jock ass from Love and Hip Hop, young jock. Well, young jock. That's why girl, sorry y'all, this tangle back here is killing me. Girl who he was with, the lawyer, she was like, I mean, you might be a great dad, but like, you already struggling to, like, you already are spreading yourself thin with the kids that you have now. And he got offended. You trying to make it seem like I ain't there for my kids and that. I mean, the truth is you not. The truth is you not. You can't be at 10, 11, 12 places at once, can you? So then, therefore, ipso facto, Nick Cannon has 5 different mothers. Still, 9 babies, 5 different mothers. Can't be in 5 households at once. Explain that. Unless you plan on telling them we're gonna get together, on Easter, Thanksgiving, like we're gonna have a whole little combined situation moment, and we create, some sister wives, shit, have a whole little cul-de-sac, and I'm gonna buy up this whole block, and I move everybody there. That way, when I come to town, I can just basically house hop and fuck on each every one of them, day of the week, because that's what's getting ready to happen. Everybody knows a baby mom is just a woman that the dude can always backtrack to. It's the truth. It's the truth. Unfortunately. So now Nick Cannon, he wanted to talk about, of course, the right timing. I just, found out, my baby's going to pass away. Or no, he's like, I'm finding out that I'm pregnant. Then my baby passes away. How am I supposed to navigate, the right time to tell people that I'm getting ready to have another baby? And, I just experienced this great loss. Sounds like a you problem. Sounds like a problem that would never exist had you kept your dick, covered with a condom or, not having sex with the women. But sometimes niggas don't know how to stop, because having sex with women means that you have access to something because of this lifestyle that you have. Hey. Thank you, Miss B Stokes, for joining. Appreciate you for hopping in. I did an impromptu live. I just got done talking about Janet Jackson, so you can go back, in the playback and listen to that. Janet Jackson, Rihanna. Now we talking about Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon out here with all these motherfucking kids and baby mamas looking like a whole baby kids love story. Have you ever watched the Big Talk Show? I've heard of it. I've heard of the Big Talk Show. I've heard of it. Is that the one with Rogan, the Big Talk Show? If it's not Rogan, it's like another comedian or something like that. That's the Big Talk Show. But Nick Cannon, the thing is like them having sex with these women is more of just like because I got it like that. It helps them feel like I got it like that. Women they get flued out, and I can fuck on them. I can sleep on them. All she wants is a little bit of money from me, and I got it like that. Because to men, unfortunately, the width of their manhood, or they feel more like a man would having, the more women jumping crazy for them. That feeds them, I got bitches crazy over the D. We know how we've all heard that. We've all heard that. Nick Cannon has his own talk show. Oh, have you ever okay. Have you ever watched his talk show? See, that's the problem. That's the problem when you get lit. I'm sitting there, I'm like, the Big Talk Show. I swear to God, I thought I was seeing the Big Talk Show in this damn comments. You say his own talk show. Have I seen his talk show? Tragic. That's the problem. Your eyes can't open all the way up. His talk show. I've never watched his talk show, like a full-on episode, but I see the clips. Like, I see the clips. I mean, we all see the clips of these niggas talking. If it ain't Nick Cannon, it's Kevin Samuels, it's that little light-skinned head on 8 at the table. That one pissed me off because there was a clip of him talking about if he had his choice, women would, he would want his women to stay at home and listen to everything he got to say. Sir, you want a slave. He literally said, if it was my decision, my preference, they love that word. If it was my preference, I would want a wife to stay at home and she just do everything I tell her to do. Gummy after your show. Look, them gummies, you gotta be careful. That's the ones that be getting me. Them gummies. Them gummies. Yeah, because that's low-key what you on board with the gummies. I get one that is a it's basically like, it says stoner drop, but basically it's a lemon drop, like a strawberry lemonade gummy, and it got the THC infused in it. So that's the ones I be taking. So you gotta be careful though, because the edibles hit you a little bit different than than the yang. Then just doing this. It hits you a little different, the edibles. But definitely the gummies, or I've been doing the pens. Like the pens is dope because I don't have to worry about the smell or nothing. But so yeah, we was talking about Nick Cannon for those of you who just hopped in. Then I got sidetracked because my ass couldn't see on this damn chat. But yeah, so Nick Cannon be and having all of these women. Here's my question: what do you guys expect? You said I'm on a brownie myself. Okay, y'all know what the move is. It's stressful out here in these streets. Okay, you know what the move is. Be Stokes. Man, come on. It's too much going on in life right now, okay, to deal with this shit sober. We got the government picking us up. They're literally watching us die in action. Here it is. It's Black History Month, and white people acting stupid at Bath and Body Works with the kente cloth. Like, it's just too much. It's too much. I don't want to deal with it right now. That's how I feel like. It's like, I don't want to deal with shit right now. I don't. So I'm gonna eat this gummy, I'm gonna bite this cookie, and I'm gonna sit my ass on this couch, munch, and just not deal with it. Give me an hour. It's ironic that he's so pro-Black, but none of his BMs is. Ain't it though? Ain't it though? Ain't that what always happens? Just slowly erasing ourselves. And honestly, all cultures, low key, if you think about it, have been melding into one. And it was so weird because like they were talking about this like this genetic simulator or genetic like distributor or whatever, saying like what we all would look like in 10 years, 20, 15 years. And then it's like all of us in the future are gonna be beige, like of some sort of brown, just shade of brown. Because most of us are becoming interracial relationships. If you think about it, black men are getting with other race women. So of course, what do black women have to get with? Other race men. Once we get out of the idea of, trying to build this black legacy, because clearly women are the only one really trying to, make that happen. But unfortunately, you can't make it happen by yourselves. So, what else is there left for us to do? Because tolerating these out here in these streets, like you're gonna be broke, destitute, credit messed up, car on flat, hell on flat with a damn hubcap on it. With a nigga at his mama's house while he's still playing Xbox. That's the truth. So, I mean, essentially, if you think about it, like at some point, the white men are starting to date more, ethnic races. The black men been date ethnic races. So, if you think about what we all gonna look like in the future, besides the crazy, extra right wing people who feel like white power, that's we all gonna be great. We all gonna be great in this bitch in a little bit. Speaking of, white supremacy, white power, let's get into Whoopi Goldberg because we want to talk about that. Good old Whoopi, you guys. Whoopi Goldberg was suspended from is it ABC or NBC? So let me try to pull up the story really fast. Let me see if I can pull it up. Or maybe not on Instagram, but on Twitter. Let's see. We're gonna get into Whoopi Goldberg. Did you guys see the clip? The Whoopi Goldberg clip? Or did you hear the story about Whoopi Goldberg trend? Like what was going on with her? Let's see. Let's see. Everybody's getting on Whoopi. Let's see. So basically, I didn't see the whole video, but basically what Whoopi was saying was it's not about race. It's basically about supremacy over the other. That's, in all essence, that's really what it is. Like the Holocaust wasn't about race. It was about, how is it that it's about race and you're racist over what you say is like the better of whites. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, so now, does that mean you're trying to say Jews are a race? I thought Judaism was a religion, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not versed in the history, but I know a little something. Like I'm not that destitute and far off to know that Jewish people wasn't a race. So, of course, the other white women, oh my God, it's about race. Yes, it is. It's about race. It's about race. It's about race. White people, they go, Godzilla's coming, when shit pops off. So now the station is quote unquote putting her on suspension. Of course, everybody's upset. What'd you say? I kind of understand what she was trying to convey, because you were talking about same nationally of people who do not believe they are better. It makes sense. If that makes sense. Yeah, so the better of the white people, how is it that you're like, it's not about one race if they're all as a whole white people? Like, so how's it about a race when Judaism wasn't a race? Like, so now we're starting to understand, like, okay, the Holocaust, you know what? Let's just say it was about a race. Judaism was a race. does that not prove more into the situation of like patriarchy of white supremacy? Because now you're trying to battle off even the whiter whites. I'm whiter than you. Do you see that? I'm whiter than you. Like, you see that? So like for the people's like, oh, who wanna people for some reason know how to educate themselves on the fucking Holocaust, but they don't know how to educate themselves on slavery here on this land. They love to be more interested in that shit. But when it comes to learning about slavery with the black folks on our land, people all of a sudden get blind, you know. But they definitely can figure out a way to, you know, want to learn about the Holocaust. So if the Holocaust is white people like fighting over a race, then now that means if we want to go by y'all's logic, then that means they're fighting over the whiter of white people. So now we know that ideology exists, right? Not race, but who's better? That like, girl, you got some typos in here, so excuse me. I'm trying to put it all together. Do whites against white trailer park? They separate themselves. Okay, so I think I kind of get what you're trying to say. So you're right to say like they separate themselves based on like, okay, you know, white people how they feel. You know, people who grow up in the trailer parks are, you know, less than them is what you're trying to like get at. I think that's what you're trying to say. Like that group of white people aren't as, you know what, that may be true. But in the essence of, okay, just because somebody's from the trailer park versus somebody, you know, who comes from, you know, Bel Air, the thing is, when they walk into that store, you know, they're white, period. They're not going to know they're from the trailer park. Like, if you put them in the same clothes or whatever, they go into the store, they're both going to be white. The thing is, in the Holocaust, since they were always dividing based on, like, if you weren't blonde hair, blue eyed. So, you know, that's where that what's the word, differentiating could come from, because, you know, they're only separate by class, not separate by, oh, you know, separate by, that's more classism than it is like, oh, about the race per se is in your situation, in your like setup that you're saying. But yeah, so Whoopi Goldberg, you know, they tried to basically suspend her. You know, networks always love to do the fake, oh, we're with you guys. You know, they love to do that. Oh, we fired them. Oh, you know, they're no longer working with us for the, you know, next couple of weeks. You know, that they love to do that. And so come to find out, rumor has it that the ladies actually are upset that the network not fired, but they suspended Whoopi, and all the ladies actually did not agree with the fact that Whoopi got suspended. I'm trying to see if they ended up posted what the ladies said. Let's see if they posted what the ladies individually said. Let's see. And then we got to come back and talk about Nicki Minaj, because Nicki Minaj did a video with Kevin Samuels. So we definitely gonna have to get into that, but we're gonna do that in another video because I got some things to do. But I want to finish up here. I can't see what they were talking about. I guess they didn't post about what the ladies had said on this. But basically, the ladies were not happy with the fact that Whoopi was let go. Okay, let's see. Okay. They don't say what the lady said, but basically it was, this news comes after ABC News President Kim Goodwin announced Goldberg's 2-week suspension late last night, saying effective immediately, I'm suspending Whoopi Goldberg for her wrong and hurtful comments. While Whoopi has apologized, I've asked her to make time to reflect and learn on the impact of her comments. Ain't that ironic? We need Whoopi to take time And, think about the impact of her comments. The motherfucking irony. The 66-year-old actress, the leader of the View panel, upset some viewers with her comments about the Holocaust during Monday's show. She then appeared on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert that evening and seemed to double down on her opinion. Still, by the end of the night, she took onto her social media accounts to walk back her previous statements and apologize. Goldberg also made a formal apology on yesterday's episode, which Godwin praised in an internal email. But insiders claim from ABC staffers insisted the apology wasn't enough and demanded she be fired. To read the rest, go to Baller Alert. So basically, the apology was not enough. They wanted, I guess, Whoopi to be down on her knees, begging you, please. I don't know. What did y'all expect from Whoopi? Like, ultimately, the Holocaust was not about race. Like, this, like, race and compared, like, they were all motherfucking European. So they were all white people. Like, if you talk to, like, most people, when you see Jew people, you see all white people. Like, when you go to a Jewish church, regardless of them being blonde hair, blue eyed, or brown haired, or whatever, they all white. And honestly, it's just about superiority over whatever other group of people. So you start trying to construct these boxes for everybody to fit in, which is where patriarchy and feminism, like all of those things, come into play. All those tropes come into play because they're trying to mask everybody individually in a box. Women in a box, gay people in a box, like men in a box. Like, all of that comes from something of trying to be more superior over somebody else. So that's where the Holocaust came from. Like, they were just trying to be superior over somebody else. Like, not in particular to it being, because y'all are a race of people, like, our race is better than yours. Like, it was more of like, our kind is better than yours type situation, if you ask me. So yeah, what do you guys think about Whoopi Goldberg, getting fired? Not fired, but suspended from ABC. She gonna be back. And you know what, too? You know what? I'm not gonna lie, you guys. I just kind of want to bring this up now that it popped in my head. When we do have moments like this, does it not do us a disservice when we immediately be like, oh, we don't need to hear no more from this person, right? Because it's like, I really want to get into the minds of people's mindset, like their logic. When we have these, extra white right-wing people, when we have the people like the Jennies of, Salt Lake City, like the Candace Owens, the Tommy Laurens, like, or just when there are celebrities who say something a little ignorant, like, we do kind of a disservice, I think, in my opinion, not having the conversation or not seeing where they go. Like, okay, for instance, let's say, I feel like this would be a really good idea. Just hear me out. Imagine Jenny win Salt Lake City. I believe she will return because she really is liked by the Jewish community. Hell, I didn't know Whoopi had Jewish fans. I didn't know Whoopi had Jewish fans at all. But if she does, we're going to see. But Whoopi, I think, because of the backlash that they're receiving and the other ladies not supporting the suspension, I do think because of the conversation around it, if the network is smart, you'll bring Whoopi back on and allow the conversation to be had. Hell, even have a Holocaust, historian come on the show so they can explain what truly happened during the Holocaust. Not some made up bullshit that America taught us. Because they right now trying to just erase all the shit that happened in history right now with us. Okay. That's true tea. We already know they love, she dated and married only white Jewish men, possible Jewish men. Oh, okay, Whoopi. Go ahead then. I didn't know you like some of that Jewish l'chaim meat. Get down and say l'chaim. Salutaire l'chaim. But yeah, I never knew like Whoopi was into the Jewish thing. But I'm just saying, like, I think we do a disservice. Okay, so my idea, having somebody like Jenny Wynn, having Kristen and Stassi, having Jax Taylor, like all the white people on the shows who kind of do some stupid white people, and like I feel like we would really do good sticking them in a situation and actually hearing what their mindset is and putting them in a room with somebody to actually, I know we hate to say like, oh, it's not our job to educate, but like when we leave white people to do it upon their own and educate themselves, I mean, are we really going to expect them to really truly educate themselves? Are white people truly going to educate themselves? Unfortunately, we got to be like the black person, like, don't look at that story right there ain't it, okay? That story right there that they try to feed you ain't it. No, this the one right here you need to read. Like, unfortunately, like, as much as it's not our responsibility per se, but if we want the shit to no longer be repetitive, repeated, I mean, why not just educate them? Like, that's like, I know it sucks to be in that position, but like, who else would we leave up to educate about black people than black people? Like, that's what I'm just saying. Like, that's what I'm trying to get. Like, who else would you want like to educate about black people than black people? Some people, I do think genuinely, because they're only immersed in their world, are just so ignorant. Like, there is a difference between white people who are just genuinely ignorant and some who definitely show up like as they are intentional about their racism. Some people are intentional about their privilege. Some people are ignorant to their privilege as well. I'm not sticking up for certain people. I'm not. I'm just saying we have to be open to all spectrums. I like to be a person who, covers all spectrums. So when we go from, the ignorant, white person that you go to school with every day that I'm not racist because I have black friends, those little bit of type. Then you start moving into the more of the Tommy Lauren type. Then you start moving into the Candace Owen Trump type. Then you start moving into, the alt-right, supremacy, white power, the KKK type. Like, there's different spectrums. And I just feel like Jenny is a true Asian racist and does not care to change her view or opinion. Her so-called apology was bull. I do agree with that. I do agree that Jenny was on some bull. She was on some bull. And she mad she got caught. That's really what that was. She mad she got caught. And I want less apologies and more. I don't want an apology. I want you to explain your point of view. That's what I want to happen from now on. I no longer want apologies. I want to know what you were thinking when you posted them, because then I now know how to approach in this conversation going forward with you. Because Jenny, posting George Floyd, he overdosed during his video. Posting, cops aren't the one who needs training. People out here looting and rioting, Then there's that's not kids on the back of my car. That's how many rioters I hit. I'm asking the questions of what was going through your mind when you made this post, right? I typically, it's just something about me. I want to understand the mindset, like the psychology behind it, because there are some white people who are just pure ignorant. Kristen and Stassi, for instance, when they did that shit on, Vanderpump Rules, and they talked about calling the police on, a black woman, thinking it was a joke.
that was just pure ignorance. Like I'm not sticking up for them, but you just have to. I'm also willing to if in true education, in true fashion of wanting to truly educate somebody, you have to understand what you're starting with. You have to understand, okay, how far into, educating this person do I really got to go? Do I got to start with, oh, this nigga talking about KKK white power? Am I starting with them just completely debunk, not believing that racism ever exists and slavery happened on this country? Or am I dealing with a white person who understands slavery existed, who understands, white people have a privilege, but just not how much privilege, And that's where the Stasis and Kristens and the Jax Taylors, that's where they live, right? The Asian, the Jenny Wins, they're the I just came to America, I want to fit in type, and they've indoctrinated something to themselves to make themselves feel better, for one, and two, to make sure they stay where they're at. A lot of them are very aware that the shit that they say don't make sense. I don't want to say a lot. Half of them, I'll give it 50-50. Half of them are aware that the shit that they're saying does not make sense. It does not fulfill, it does not help their kind. But they just go along with it because they got to keep up with their Asian, privilege over black privilege, because that's the truth. The Asians came over here and just hot line on nipples. That's what happened. They just came in, walked up, and just scoot that little ass right on in front of us, and then had the nerve to look back at us like, bitch, if I don't just chop your old fortune cookie teller ass out, I karate chop your ass in the throat. But yeah, so I really think we would sometimes do better, not immediately, I don't want to say cancel, because that's not what, you definitely need to get your ass off the show, Jenny, for sure. But I think we would get a lot further sitting down with people and understanding, okay, this is where you're starting. Okay, this is where we need to get to go. Now let's have the conversation. So that's what needs to happen in Whoopi's situation. It's, okay, this is where we're starting. Whoopi saying, hey, I don't believe, the Holocaust was about race. And then people went, oh, we need to cancel her, get rid of Whoopi. She said some ignorant shit. But now, you guys aren't learning just as much as the person who, said the whatever shit it was. Not necessarily in Whoopi's, situation, but in general, when you cancel the person or you no longer want to hear from them, now they just gonna sit in the room and not say, we're not hearing the true shit, that they feeling after that. Because half of them gonna be like, how dare these people, And there might be other people who might be like, oh my God, what did I do? Type people. I want to know what your reaction is. But I feel like they're going to bring Whoopi back. I'm going to end on that. I feel like they're going to bring Whoopi back, and I feel like they're going to have the conversation because way too many people were not here for it, and it's Black History Month. They don't want none of that on Black History Month. No, I don't think they want that bad karma. Black women always get it the hardest. We did that shit with Chrisette Michelle. Now we sitting here doing it with Whoopi. Black women always get it the hardest. But I feel like if, it's true that the other ladies were upset that Whoopi was suspended, I feel like if the other ladies, voice their grievance, then that will possibly make the networks reconsider and will actually have a conversation. I feel like it would get them more ratings. Matter of fact, actually bringing my idea, having Whoopi come back on, having, maybe a Holocaust survivor and, a historian, there at the table. Does that not make more sense, or am I tripping? Am I tripping? And she even went on to say that we had 18 years to raise our kids. Oh yeah, that was what Jenny said. Yeah, Jenny definitely was talking at the side of her motherfucking neck. She definitely for sure was. And that's what I'm saying. I'm always interested to sit down with people like that, because it's do you really believe your own bull? Like, I want to know if you're one of those people. Are you the person who really believes their own bull? Or do you just say it because you know that's the side that benefits you? Like, that's what I want to know. I would sit down with Jenny. Okay, I'm not gonna even go sit there and argue with you about, oh, it's a lie, somebody hacked me. Oh, this was from, no, I don't want to hear none of it. You post that shit. We know you did. I'm not gonna argue with you, Jenny. I just want to know what was your mindset when making these posts. That's what I want to know. Because then when I hear your mindset, I can be able to come back with actual facts, and truth. Because you most likely 9 times out of 10 is going to come at me with some bullshit that some white folks told you in the, in the coffee room on lunch break because y'all got black coworkers, but it ain't the true tea, right? Do you really want to, I just want to know, are you a person who really believes their own hype? Like, that's what I want to know. But what do you guys think? Do you think they'll bring Whoopi back? You think they'll bring Whoopi back and they'll have a discussion? I don't know. I feel like they should. But I think that's kind of all I want to talk about, you guys. If you guys came in later, I've been on here for a little, about an hour and so. So need to hop off here, freaking make the spaghetti. Then I'm gonna try to watch. I'm wanting to start the documentary for the Playboys. Y'all, these documentaries is coming out the woodworks. Y'all, they are not playing with people right now. First, the Bill Cosby one's happening, and the Playboy. I know the Bill Cosby shit. I want to watch this Playboy one. That's because that Playboy one involves everybody else. You know what I'm saying, right? The Playboy Mansion is where all the rich men went. Playboy parties. They tea gonna get spilled along with they teas, right? I can go back, on Bill Cosby's story, but he most likely gonna come up. And matter of fact, I heard he did come up and talking about the Playboy Mansion. So I'm thinking about maybe doing a live and talking about what I heard, watching what happened on the Playboy Mansion. Would that be something that you guys would want to talk about it here? Y'all want to talk about the Playboy documentary or the Bill Cosby documentary? Listen, you say all foreigners have privilege over black. They come to America and get money to start businesses in the black, and they do. What's that mean? And they do, and they do. Until blacks bond together, we can get something moving. Power in number, girl. You ain't never lied. That's why Martin Luther King and them, Malcolm X and them. That's why they were able to make movement. But right now, obviously, the black people's arguing right now because the niggas don't want to listen to the black women. We want to be real. If we want, you know what? I don't even get started on that. I'm not, because that's going to take me down another thing. I'll be down here for another damn near hour because we have literally just been watching just black men shit on black women. And it's nigga, all we just trying to do was build with you. All we try to do was build. But y'all niggas, y'all want to go and skedaddle over there with all these little mixed race Skittles and, procreate over there. Nick Cannon, future ass niggas. All of the half y'all baby mamas is either hella light skinned or of some other race. I'm wondering what Jock baby mama race is. I know he got some Mexicans in there. I know he do. Jock, Stevie J, all of you. Peter Guns. Don't Peter Guns got 11 kids? His women, Amina, she damn German. I can't. I'll get into it in another live, or I might do a pre-record video, but that's it, you guys. Let me hop off. I'm late for another meeting. I'm just now realizing it's another meeting. So I appreciate for the ones who was able to tune in, chat me a little bit. I definitely appreciate y'all for, hopping on. Y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna be reviewing Real Housewives of New Jersey. Real Housewives of New Jersey, y'all. If you have not watched it, Actually, before I go, drop down in the comments how many of y'all are watching Real Housewives of New Jersey, or have seen seen the show before. Thank you so much. I'm assuming Lisette. I appreciate you for tuning in. I'm gonna start doing my lives more. I promise I'm gonna start doing more lives. That way I can like communicate back and forth with you guys. Because I usually just do a lot of pre-records, but I'll be feeling like I don't like get a chance to have y'all's opinions on a lot of the stuff, that we talk about and everything. So then also think like, oh my gosh, on the lives, like if you're not on there, but y'all can always just go back and watch the playback and then just comment on the videos. You should post your Cash App. You know what? I should. I never think about that. I really don't. I'll do that next time. Thank you for reminding me. I'll put that down there and let it scroll at the bottom. Definitely will take some donations. I'll definitely do that for next time. But yeah, you guys, Real Housewives of New Jersey, before I hop off really fast, do you guys ever watch it, have seen any episodes or seasons? Because I'm going to review it. I'm going to review New Jersey. It's already popping episode 1. Gia got in Joe's ass, and he did not know what to do. Yeah, I heard the Bill Cosby was good. Yeah. Okay. All right, you guys. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I will catch you guys on the next live. Y'all just keep posted on my community page, or I usually post on Twitter or something like that. So y'all just stay tuned for that. But till next time, I will see you guys later.